Rich, Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? Today I'm gonna today's barn chat. I'm gonna go over a book that somebody had given to me a while back to do a review of, and I did it for them and kind of told them what I thought. And so I thought I'd share it with you because it's not a bad little reference book to have laying around. Okay, should something drastic happen, like where you couldn't get internet access or so forth. Contains a lot of little information and charts and things of this nature. And I mean, it's got a lot, not a lot in depth, not a lot of step by step, but quite a bit. So let's get on with it. Let's get started here. Start off with this book review. Uh, the book's title is "The Ultimate Guide to Homesteading: An Encyclopedia for Independent Living." It's written by Nicole Ferries. I hope I got that right. Uh, and it's kind of a pretty neat little reference book. Got 7 or 8 chapters in it. But this thing will cover everything from, you know, dealing with horses to livestock to, draft horses, gardening, building cabins. They got some area of solar power and wind power and things of this nature. And it's not real in depth, but it does have a lot of good charts that you can hang on to. What the power usage is the average utilities in a home for calculating out your solar needs and things of this nature. Stuff that if you couldn't get online would be handy information to have at your fingertips. And I was pretty impressed with it. Some things in it I found pretty humorous. She was talking about milking and so forth and weaning cattle, but she comes right and tells you she's dealing with dairy cattle. Okay. I hit one point where she was talking about getting a cow to drop its milk, and she gives several different techniques. And she says, and if that doesn't work, you just suck on the teat. And I'm thinking, wow, girl, that's a good way to get kicked in the head. Wow. But, I wouldn't recommend that, okay? And the picture I had running through my mind was the average beef cow, which, like I said, she's dealing with dairy cattle. But still, a beef cow would probably not just kick you in the head, but turn around and charge you afterwards because they got a little attitude when it comes to stuff like that. But there was another section where they were talking about making ethanol. And she talked about needing the permits to make ethanol and all this kind of stuff and how it is not legal if you make it for human consumption. It is, then called moonshine and, blah, blah, blah. But then she goes into great detail of how to cut ethanol down to make it drinkable. Girl knows how to get her shine on, okay. But it has just a truckload of information. Uh, it's a quick reference book. Like I said, it's not as in-depth detail-wise as you'd like to see. Of step 1 be, 2, 3, and so forth. But it is a pretty good book. It's fairly large. I mean, all kidding aside, pretty good sized book. And it's an easy read. She does a nice job on it. She covers everything from clipping wings on chickens to, modern conveniences, electric, how to stack firewood, how to build fires, things of this nature. Just general common information. So while it is not the be all do all of homesteading, or running a small homestead, it does have some very valuable information. And I don't think it's a overly expensive book. Yeah, I think this one was around eight or it was about $10, something like that. So it's not a bad book to have laying around in your library because you just never know. It had some great ideas of how to make homemade solar hot water heaters and things like that. So uh, good to have. All right, it'd be worthwhile to you. So if you don't have it in your library, you might want to pick up a copy and see how it goes. You know, I enjoyed reading it because there is some pretty funny things in there that this girl covers. Sucking on a cow's teat. I never thought about that. I really hadn't. Don't think I'd ever want to try that because I've seen them kick too often, even with their own calf, on her. So, yeah, because you just can't read their minds and don't know the mood they're in. That one sounds like it'd be a good way to get hurt. So, what do you think, Patera? You ever tried that? Uh, yeah, I don't know that I'd give that a whirl. But it's not a bad book. For new homesteaders, it'd be a good starting point. And then you can continue for more in-depth information looking elsewhere. But what it is really good for, I thought, is for a more seasoned homesteader because it does provide a lot of graphs, charts, and things of this nature for calculating things out and quick reference stuff so that you could, kind of something that you hadn't done before, situation calls for it. You don't have any other way to get the information. You can pull this book off the shelf and kind of remind yourself, oh yeah, okay, that's what I need to do, or yeah, this is the power I'm going to need. Things of this nature. Covers everything from making ethanol, biodiesels, composting, even compost heaters. So she really covers it, really does. So I don't know that you could fit everything in depth that in what it takes to run a homestead. You'd have a 50,000 page book there on your hands, but this is a pretty good reference book, and so I highly recommend it. Anyway, okay, on to the things. I had recently put up that video for answering some comments, and got another one to do. I had done the video in its entirety, and I wasn't paying attention to the time, where I included his questions along with, or his comments along with some other stuff he'd had on the Civil War. By the time I was done, it was a 38-minute long video. I thought, okay, I can't do that, so I'm going to split it out for him. But yeah, like I said, good book, and starting to get some videos back out, which is gonna start happening more and more and more and more and more. So hang in there. And I'm still working on some of these other accounts. I had started setting up a VidMe account. Those guys went down. Really? It's like, seriously? So here I'm back again, and I'm talking with some other YouTubers right now to find out which ones are having good success with and a little more financially stable. So, so I'll keep you abreast as that goes. YouTube is still YouTube. They're doing their thing. A lot of homestead sites are getting hit. Stupid stuff. Just stupid stuff. I think that the bots they're sending out to check videos really need some fixing. They're trying to catch too much. Okay. And they're looking for trigger words and things of this nature. And they probably need to back off of it a little bit and start looking for, okay, if I find a trigger word, how many, what other words in there would untrigger that word? But they haven't got that far yet. Maybe someday. If they still have content providers by the time that happens. They're really pressing buttons. So anyway, so much for the status with YouTube. The Patreon account I'm working on right now is going to be primarily educational. I just want to make that how-to educational stuff and so forth. I have added to this last video I just put up I started putting up an end screen on that so that you get little video selections going on there at the end of each video. Instead of YouTube just feeding you the next thing in line, gives you a chance to kind of take a look at things. I am going to feature, like I really push that GMO versus common sense playlist because it's got a lot of information in there. So you'll be seeing that pretty much solid on those end screens, so that people that are new to the site can go back and take a look at that and get them a little bit better educated on what's going on in the agricultural world, and for people just wanting to come into homesteading. So, with all that being said, let's see what else is going on. It is all of you that live in Tennessee, I'm sure, and Arkansas, we are getting hit with some frigid weather. I mean, it's cold. It is cold. And we have a utility system down here where we just pay as we go kind of thing. It's they call it a flex account. And I really like it because you can go out and track your energy usage daily if you want. And you throw so much money on your account, and when that runs down, they start sending you, as you get close to a cutoff limit, not a cutoff as far as cut off the power, but you set, I don't want my account to get below $50, okay? When it gets to $50, it starts sending you emails and text messages on your phone letting you know that, you're getting down into that zone. Kind of nice. I like it. Pretty neat service, really, for a power company. Usually you just get open that bill up at the end of the month and pull it out and go, oh my gosh, But with this system, you can track and see what you're doing. I can tell you a lot of times I take a look and then run around turning stuff off. I'm going to spend that much money. So yeah, and it causes you to do stuff like turn the heat down just a little bit. And you get to see the immediate results of it, which is kind of neat. So I think everybody should have that available even on the ones where you get the monthly bill. It'd be kind of nice to be able to pop out online and see what your daily usage is and stuff of that nature. And it has a little weather chart to show you what the high and the low temperatures were for the day to kind of justify, I was running the heat a lot that day, things of that nature. So, and I of course have a heat pump, which was not doing so well at the beginning of the year. It was low on charge. You got that taken care of. But it's working pretty good, even in this, I think last night we got down to about 15, 16 degrees. And I don't keep the house real warm. The whole house, I keep the whole house probably at about 65 degrees, something like that. And then I have a little oil-filled space heater that I run in the bedroom, keep the door closed, to where the bedroom stays good and warm, the bedroom and the master bath, so that I can sleep good at night, nice and warm and toasty, and not have to be running the heat pump all the time to do that. So, trick, I guess. But yeah, you ought to talk to your utility companies. If you don't have something like that, get it. It's great. A lot of fun too. Because a lot of times it's like you start noticing, okay, if I turn my thermostat in summertime up 2-3 degrees, and all of a sudden you see that the next day, same kind of temperatures, you saved $4. Multiply that out, folks. That's a little bit of pocket change there you save each month. So it's kind of a neat program. I like it. Let's see what else is going on. I can't again thank you enough for your warm wishes this Christmas season. That was wonderful. You folks are great, and you really made my holiday. You really did. And I was glad you guys enjoyed that little video I stuck up. It was from the heart, and wanted you to know I appreciate you. So, hopefully it hit the spot for you. You got a little smile out of it. We're going to try to get more videos out. My goal is to do a minimum of one a week, possibly two, maybe more. Life has started to settle down a little bit, and I'm getting more into the schedule of it, and that's going to help. You know, though tonight I'm off, but I'm used to working nights, so it is like I don't know 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up doing videos. Yeah, thinking I should be in bed asleep, um, but I don't sleep a lot at night. It's usually 5 hours worth, and I'm back up and going again. So, and I'm fine with that. Uh, so it works out well. I know everybody says you're supposed to get 8 hours, but I just wake up. Uh, and I've tried all kinds of tricks. If I close up the doors and I've got blacked out drapes on the windows and so forth, try to keep the bedroom as dark as I can. Because usually when the sun comes up, I don't care if I just went to bed, I wake up and I'm awake. Uh, yeah. Oh, good grief. You know, and so now I'm trying to get it back down to probably, keep the room dark and sleep a little longer. But I still, it doesn't matter when I go to bed. By about 9:30 in the morning, I'm back up again. Yeah, crazy. But the neat part is on days that I'm off, I can go back and like today, I think I laid down for about an hour, took about an hour nap, you know, uh, early in the afternoon, and got back up, felt great, and got back to it. So, uh, homesteading questions. Start throwing them out there, folks. If you got questions about homesteading and so forth, you know, put your questions out there, and I'm gonna get you answers to it. Uh, I enjoy that. Maybe do some videos for you on a particular topic if 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 it's enough of a subject to cover. I was, like I said, I was getting a kick out of this girl's information. You can tell she's a horse person because she really gives some good, in-depth information on horses, and I enjoyed that because I'd really like to. Uh, Once I get back into farming again, I would like to have draft horses. Uh, yeah, nuts, I know, right? But I'd really like to have some. And so I was very interested in the information she provided on that. Like I said, it's general, it's not real in depth, but it's enough to get you going, And a lot of it is good enough to where you can. She even goes into, what size is a stack of, what size stack of wood is a cord of wood. You know, just simple things like that that makes it a real enjoyable little book. So do check it out. If you don't already have a copy, I know a lot of you probably have it, but if you don't, pick up a copy. You'll enjoy it, and it's a good piece of reference information to have in your library. So anyway, enough rambling. I hope you guys had a great holiday, and that your new year is just, which today's it. Happy New Year. And I hope it's a blessed one. And I hope the Lord provides you with everything that you're dreaming of, as long as it's within His will. I know one girl that keeps telling me she's always had a dream of robbing a bank. It's like, really? That's your dream? To rob a bank? She's, well, I'd never do it, but yeah, it's always been a little private fantasy of mine is to rob a bank. And it's like, okay, Dillinger. So, yeah. But yeah, to each his own. But I hope you have a super year, and that all your crops do well, and your animals breed and multiply, and you have a very prosperous homestead this year. So this is Rich from Tennessee Homestead. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I really do want to, and I'd like to hear your success stories too. So don't be afraid to throw them down in the comments. All right, y'all take care, and I'll be speaking to you real soon.